beautiful model Phoebe, and today we're going to take you through the new products from the Artistry Studio Bangkok collection. So if you like colour and shine, then this is definitely the collection for you. So keep on watching to find out how to use some of these awesome products. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to start off with is actually not a makeup product, but it is a really beautiful smelling essential oil balm. Now, these can be used on the temples, behind the ears and on the wrists, and Phoebe has picked her perfect scent. Give it a good smell there. So we're just gonna pop this behind Phoebe's ears because she does already have a little bit of makeup on, and these 3 scents promote energy, happiness, and calmness. So the next product we're gonna go in with is the On The Go face palette. So this palette contains a number of blushes, highlighter, and eyeshadows as well. So we're gonna do a more muted eyeshadow today because we're gonna go in and do a more dramatic liner because we have some beautiful Kajal eyeliners that are coming out with this collection. So the first color we're gonna go in with number 2, and I'm gonna use my large fluffy shader brush. And I'm just gonna pack the product onto that brush and then tap off the excess. And so we're just gonna start really close to the lash line, and we're just gonna pack this color all over the mobile lid. So the reason why I like to pack a lot of product on the brush is because it means that I can alternate the sides of the brush without having to dip into the palette a number of times. And then I'm just gonna start to blend that color through the crease. So again, this is just a really muted shadow, so we don't want the color payoff to be too strong, but we do want a little bit of color there so we have something to contrast with our eyeliner. So again, just taking that product up into the crease, no further than the crease, and just blending with the eye open just means that you can get a really good indication of what the eye makeup is gonna look like with the eye open. So now we have a nice wash of color as a base. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mirror that application underneath the lash line just to balance out the eye shape. And I'm gonna go in with my small shader brush, and I'm just gonna blend that into the lower lash line. So just little back and forward strokes, and again, just starting on that outer edge, and then working the product into the inner corner. So now we've got that shadow on, we're gonna go in with our eyeliner. There are 2 new eyeliners in this collection, so I'm gonna use Gilded Amethyst. So this is a really beautiful purple with a slightly frosted kind of texture. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna start with the product and I'm gonna blend it into the lash line, and then I'm gonna use my angle brush to softly smooth the product out so we get a nice wing. So again, I do like to start right on the edge of the eye and then gradually work the product into the center. It just means that you're going to deposit less product into that inner corner. And I'm just anchoring myself to the lid space so I can get really nice and tight into the lash line. So the reason why I'm depositing the product down first with the eyeliner and then smudging it out with the brush is because I really want that color intensity there. So when I go in with my eyeliner brush, I can wing it out and then build up the color again. So these eyeliners are super smooth to use. They're really, really long wearing as well. So you definitely won't need to reapply. So now I've gone about 3/4 of the way across. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna get some of the product onto my angle brush, and I'm gonna edge that product a little bit further into the inner corner. And then the other way for me. And again, just putting the product onto the brush just means that you're going to get a smoother, more defined application of the product. So now I'm just going in across the lash line again, just making sure that my color intensity is the same depth the whole way across. So now we've got our liner even on both sides, we're now going to start to wing the liner out. So what you want to do again is load the product up on the brush. And when you're winging out an eyeliner, you want to use the finest point of the brush to create the wing. And what we're going to do is we're going to mark out this line in line with her lower lash line. And just close for me. And we're going to start to wing that shadow out. Now we're just going to do a really soft line to begin with, just so we can get an indication of where we want to start that more dramatic wing. So now we've got our line ready to go. We're going to start to join the liner up. So we're going to drag that liner along the upper lash line and start to connect it to that wing that we've created. And then now we're going to start to build up that color intensity. If you feel like you need a little bit more product, just get your liner and just draw a little bit directly onto the skin and then start to drag the product out again. Always remembering to use the finest tip of the brush wherever you want the finest point of the wing to be. So this type of liner look, if it is more dramatic, is a little bit of a process, but you will get there in the end. And it's always easier to start with less and then gradually build the liner up. So again, if you want a little bit more of that color intensity, going directly in with the liner onto the skin and then dragging that product out again. And perfect. We have a beautiful winged eyeliner. So now the next step is to do a little bit of mascara. But with the Bangkok collection, we do have a little trick up our sleeves. So there is a beautiful product called a lash primer. Now, this product is beautiful because what it does is creates length and volume underneath your mascara. So no more lash extensions, no more false lashes. We're gonna load up the brush with our product. So we're just going to get to the root of the lash with our mascara wand. Nice little zigzag or rolling motions, whatever you prefer. And we're just gonna coat the lash with our lash primer. And then we're gonna do the same on the other side as well. So again, rolling from the root of the lash to the tips of the lash. So we're also gonna go in on those bottom lashes as well. Now, if you do prefer a softer, lower lash line, you can just apply this to the top lash line and use your normal mascara on the bottom as well. So the next step is to pop on your mascara. So I do prefer to do a little bit more of a zigzag motion when we do have our lash primer underneath, just to make sure we do coat all of that nude color that the lash primer does create on top of the lashes. You can also roll your mascara on top of the lashes too, depending on how dramatic you want your application to be. And making sure you're always getting right into that inner corner too, so your lashes are nice and evenly coated. So there you have it, big, beautiful, luscious lashes. So just to define that lower lash line a little bit more, I am gonna get my eyeliner again and just kind of coat underneath that lash line. So I'm just gonna get my small shader brush and I'm just gonna pop a little bit of that eyeliner onto the brush, just because you're gonna get a softer, more diffuse application. And because we already have a little bit of our shadow under there, it just means that it's gonna look really nice and soft and smudged out. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of shine right in the center of the lid space, just to give an extra glow to the eye makeup. So I'm gonna use the Artistry Studio Cream Eyeshadow in Gold Rush. Now I like to use this product with my fingers just because I feel like your fingers are a little bit more dense, so you're gonna get a stronger application. You can use a brush as well, but if you want more of an intense shine, definitely using your fingers or even a flat brush if you prefer. So just tapping in the center of the lid space, just to give that really nice, kind of natural glow to the eyelid. And just smoothing out the edges with your finger so it blends really nicely into that eyeshadow that we've got underneath. And then we're just gonna go into the other side as well. So again, just getting as much product as you need on your finger, and then almost really just massaging it into the eyelid. Now, if you do want to amp up this shine, we're gonna go in with the On The Go face palette. So we're gonna take shade 1 and we're just gonna press this right on top of where we've put our Gold Rush cream shadow and just really build up that color intensity. When you're using a large shader brush, it will help to really smooth the edges of that eye makeup into the shadow that we've got underneath. Remember that whenever you're tapping the product, you're building the product's intensity up. If you want to intensify that inner corner as well, we're gonna go back in with our eye crease brush and we're just gonna build up that shine just in that inner corner there, right near the tear duct. If you're like me and you like an extra bit of glow, you can use your eye crease brush as well. Go in with shade 1 and then just take a little bit underneath that brow bone there as well. Just to kind of highlight that brow bone really softly. So now our eyes are done, we're gonna go in with our On The Go face palette and we're gonna amp up these cheeks a little bit more. So we're gonna take our angle brush, and I'm gonna do like a little bit of a mixture between these 3 shades because I really like to mix products together because I think they blend really beautifully onto the skin. I'm just gonna take a little bit of shade 5 and 6. And I'm just gonna start on the apples of Phoebe's cheeks and blend that back into the contour of her face. Now I like to use little fluffy circle motions just to make sure we get a really nice flush of color, no dense circles on the cheek. With blush, I do like to take it a little bit high into the center of the face because I feel like it's gonna lift the face a little bit more. And then again, same step on the other side. So again, just mixing shade 5 and 6 together, starting on the apples of the cheeks and blending that to the outer edges. Now what I'm gonna do to finish off the cheeks is use a little bit of shade 4. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the higher part of the cheek and then blend that into the cheekbone, just so we get a nice flush of sheen, and then taking that into the temple as well. And then we're just gonna repeat the same step on the other side. If you do like a little bit of shine through the center of the face, you can definitely add a little bit through the center too, avoiding the oily sections of the face. So always through the center of the nose, the cupid's bow, and a little bit on the chin. So now our cheeks are really nice and flushed and shiny. We're gonna go in and we're gonna finish off the makeup with a little bit of lipstick. So I'm gonna first start with our clear lip balm, and I'm just gonna pop that all over the lip just to make sure our lips are really beautiful and nice and hydrated. Now, because our new 2-in-1 lip crayons are more of a matte texture, I just wanna make sure the lip's nice and plump first. Now, what I'm gonna do before I go in with the lip product is actually blot the excess of the lip balm off so it doesn't impact the texture of our matte lip. So I'm just gonna get you to open, Phoebe, and just blot down for that. Perfect. So I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite 2-in-1 matte lip crayons, and this one is called Spice Goddess. So I'm just gonna start in the center of the lip and just work that product to the outer edges. And there are 5 new bold shades of this lip, so it's really exciting to have some nice matte textures in this collection. Now, if you feel like you are struggling a little bit to get more of a clean edge because the pencils are a little bit thicker, what I do like to do is actually get some of the product onto my lip brush. So similar to our eyeliner, I'm just gonna load the product up onto the brush. Make sure you get a lot on there because it's gonna make the application so much easier. And then I'm just gonna smooth those edges out, making sure you're getting right, nice and tight into the inner part of the lip. And these products are so long wearing, they're really amazing. So now we're gonna go in on the top lip. Again, just using my brush to make sure I get a really nice, clean, crisp edge. And again, repeating the same step on the other side. Remembering that when you're coming from the outer corner to the cupid's bow, you are gonna slightly round off the lip and create a little bit more volume to the top lip. And then again, just taking my pencil in, or my 2-in-1 lip crayon in, and just adding a little bit more color density in there now. So now just to make sure the edges are really nice and crisp, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of concealer just to clean up around the edges. And I'm just gonna go in with my concealer brush. So the contrast of this is just gonna help to really make that lip pop. You could also use a face powder if you prefer as well to clean around the edges too. Now we've perfected the perfect bold lip, we're gonna finish this look off with some face and body glitter. Now this is one of my favorite products from this collection. Now this is amazing on the décolletage, on the face, you can even run it down the center of the legs. On the body, because it is so concentrated, I do prefer to mix it with a little bit of moisturizer. So I'm just gonna do that on my hand now. So I'm just gonna get equal parts shimmer gel and a little bit of my Hydra V Nourishing Gel Cream. And I'm just gonna mix that with my finger. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on the higher points of the body. So I'm gonna start on the shoulders and just really rub that into the skin and really just concentrating it again on the higher points of that chest and shoulders. Now this kind of product is beautiful for a night out. It reflects really beautifully under lighting. Okay, and there you have it. Another beautiful Bangkok beauty makeup look using the Artistry Studio Bangkok Edition collection. Thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.